All eyes on Doge. Big runner. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big runner. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Sunday. How's everybody doing? Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, wherever you are. I'm doing great. Dogecoin is over 17 cents. So, is this the start of a relief rally or is this a false breakout? We're going to be talking about that today. I hope everybody's well. We got a lot going on in crypto despite it being kind of a quiet weekend because everyone's just kind of waiting to see what happens. We're waiting to see what happens. So, Jay, you've got a Modelo? Man, I should probably get mine then if you're drinking because I didn't pop one open. I just thought, yeah, it's a Sunday. I'll just be chill. We'll just chat. But here you are drinking without me. Man, I don't know. Let's see. How are we going to solve this? How are we going to solve this? Should. Should Kriss drink a Modelo? Yeah, we'll just ask that. We'll see what you guys think. Doge is at 17.11. Here we were on Friday, right? We were trying to get Doge to come to 17 cents, remember? And Doge was like getting so close, so close. We got up to 16.97 there and then got rejected. So I ended the stream. It was like, well, there was a good try, right? It was a good try. 2 more attempts over the weekend, one early Saturday, one later Saturday, nothing happened. But then early this morning, we did get a run going. Doge up over 17 cents, just came back earlier this afternoon to retest, and now pushing higher. So this is promising. Promising. Is this a price rally or is this a false breakout? What is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is rallying as well, up over 85,000. Again, we were looking at Bitcoin also on Friday, and Bitcoin was trying to get to 84.6. Rejected, and then this morning comes over it, comes back and retests, and now moving higher. So very similar patterns as we typically see between Bitcoin and Doge. So overall, cryptos, not too bad. However, we still have this thing, right? Trump's terrifying tariffs, right? The big tariffs. April 2nd, Trump says is Liberation Day. I kind of think that the markets are not going to go crazy before April 2nd. I think this is still hanging out there. We have, what, a couple weeks to go? A week and a half. And I just don't see the markets taking off with this sort of what's going to happen with the tariff thing hanging out there. Again, we talked about the word uncertainty. Markets don't like uncertainty, and the tariffs with this April 2nd date. What's going to happen? So I kind of think we're not ready for the big breakout yet because of this. However, there's some other things going on. First, our good friend Fartcoin is up 157% in the past 2 weeks. Yes, Fartcoin. Who knew, right? Who knew Fartcoin? So Fartcoin's going up. We've got Bonk. Bonk is showing good strength. Bonk is going up. And it's just like, wait, what's going on here? Are the memes Are the memes starting to wake up? Is this what we have going on? Because we look at let's look at Pepe. Pepe went on a run here on Saturday. Again, just had a big retrace early Saturday and then recovered back up. But overall, are we starting to see the signs of a recovery coming up? And is this happening across these sort of larger meme tokens? Do we see this kind of upswing happening? So there's the bonk chart. And we will take, of course, a look at the fart coin chart, just because you guys know you need to know, right? You need to know what fart coin's doing, and it's moving up to. So we have this kind of energy going in some of these meme tokens. So why not Doge? Doge is still trapped in this sideways motion. Are we going to start to see now Dogecoin make this rally happen? That's what we are still waiting to see. Dogecoin is not trading like the bonk and the fart coin. Dogecoin is instead trading more like Bitcoin. Is that what we want? I don't know. I don't know if that's what we want. However, we also had Trump token go on this huge run this morning. Was down here below $11, came up to 12.5. And what was that? Well, it was Trump himself, right? He posts, "I love Trump, so cool, the greatest of them all." The president of the United States is posting about his own token. It's like, what is this world coming to, right? The president of the United States. He's really busy, you know. He's got a lot going on. And we know the Trump token has been lagging like unbelievably. But then he posts that and his token shoots up, right? But then it sells right back off because, you know, immediately whenever you see something like this, it just starts getting shorted all to hell, gets shorted back down. But at least it's settling now up like almost $1 higher than it was before he truthed, right? Posted on Truth Social that. You know, maybe it woke people up this morning. I don't know. So we got that going on with Trump token. Meanwhile, there was some news on Saturday about this real estate company in Japan called the Open House Group is accepting cryptocurrency payments for real estate transactions. It's like, that's pretty interesting. I just bought a house, but I couldn't pay with crypto. That would have been cool though, right? Just to pay with Dogecoin. It's like, they'll pay with Dogecoin. And Billy says, hey, you can buy a house in Japan with Dogecoin. Isn't that awesome? Dogecoin, why not, right? Buy a house, pay in Doge. Unfortunately, it's only in Japan and with this one particular real estate group. But it starts to get people thinking, why not, right? If somebody is willing and able to buy a piece of real estate using cryptocurrency, why not? Why not, right? So how does Dogecoin look? Like we zoom out, again, we played this game, right? We zoom out and we look at the 4-year cycles again. There's nobody's really set on this cycle 3 still being complete yet for Dogecoin. We had cycle 1 from its launch, 2013 to 2017. And then we had cycle 2 from 2018 to 2021. And now we are in cycle 3, 2022 to 2025. We are still in 2025. And not only that, but it's early in 2025. It's only March. And people are just writing off Dogecoin. And it's just like, well, wait a sec. Why is that so? Why does Dogecoin have to go all the way back down to 10 cents or lower? It doesn't. It doesn't. Based on previous cycles, Dogecoin can be prepping for, let's just call it a large percentage push. What that price target is? Well, Javon Marks snaps his 1.61 fib line and he gets $2.28. So if you're into fib lines, Javon's saying 228. 228 should be the cycle 3 top. And I've always been talking about the fall of 2025 because of all the crap going on with, the presidency early on, all the uncertainty. And in fact, I even predicted this back on January 1st. If you look at my 2025 price prediction video, I had the big run coming in fall 2025. So we're like 6 months away from that. And I know you guys are like, I can't wait 6 months, Kriss. But it's like, that's how the cycles can go. We certainly saw back in 2017, this double top. We saw the first top and then a big decline before running up to a second top that was even higher. And that top didn't actually hit until like January 1st or 2nd of 2018. Kind of lagged Bitcoin a little bit. Is that what we have here? Could November of 2024 actually have been the first top? And this is gearing up for a second run similar to what we saw late 2017 here in 2025. You never know, right? You never know. Trader Allen, he's like, hey, we're still poised for the top. The Dogecoin top is yet to come. It hasn't happened yet this cycle. And that's what I said on my video yesterday. Is like, where is Doge going to be a year from now, right? Just looking at different scenarios. And I'm like, guys, I do not think we've hit the top yet of this cycle. But that's just me. You do you, right? I'm just saying, I don't think we've seen that yet. And we've got a ways to go. Zooming in a bit. Well, no, still zoomed out. Ali, right? Still posting his like big upwards channel, of which I already predicted this was going to bleed out sideways and not bounce and go up. But even today, he's still posting. And I don't know whether he's like, is he fudging his line a little bit here now or what? I don't know. But he's right at the lower boundary of his channel, which of course predicts Doge is going to go up to like $8, $12, $18. You pick, right? But if Dogecoin holds above the 16-cent support, which is like 16.9 now, the lower boundary of the channel, history suggests we could see a rebound toward the mid or upper range. Mid would be at least, what did Javon say? $2.28. Ali is like, yeah, maybe right around there, sure. But of course, his big 1.618 fib line is at $20. So, I mean, you do these fib lines, it just depends on where you measure them to, right? So, Dogecoin consolidation. That's what we've been talking about. That's where we are. It's a kangaroo market, right? It's a kangaroo market, up and down. Some call it consolidation, fine. That suggests we could have an uptrend, but the theme of today is this a little Dogecoin price rally or is this a false breakout? And with that, looks like I got to go get a Modelo. Over 80% of you say Kriss should be having a drink. So let me take care of that, guys. And you can enjoy this.
All eyes on Doge. Big runner. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big runner. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge.
See, there we go. Happy Sunday, everybody. Cheers. Cheers, Jay. And anyone else? I'm going to have a drink. Yeah, still Kangaroo money. Iran, yeah. It's not that far. My office, luckily, is on the same floor as the kitchen. So I didn't have that far to go. And of course, I had to pop this thing open as well. Yeah, Jay, cheers. That was good, right? Yeah, good timing. All right, where were we? Oh, we were just finishing up this opening. Then I'll get to you guys in the chat. Hey, this is decision time, right? Sideways, we're range bound between 16 and 18 cents, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That is a kangaroo market right there, as I have been talking about for the last month. We are in a kangaroo market. And a lot of you guys have been picking that up as well. Kangaroo market. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Decision time. If we start to rally and we get up to 17.9, are we going to break through 18, come back and retest and go higher? Or are we going to get rejected and drop all the way back to 16 cents? That is what could happen. We could have that. Historically, a prolonged consolidation in a cryptocurrency often precedes a strong rebound to the upside, right? Because we've been holding the support, bouncing off it like 16.5 cents or so, right? Holding it for a long time. This is since like March 11th. So this is just about 2 weeks. Range bound, sideways, holding strong. If Dogecoin manages to surpass resistance levels, its price consolidation may end, signaling the continuation of the previous uptrend. It's been a long time. We got to really recover more than anything else. This trend reversal is expected to push Dogecoin's price toward the 19 to 20 cent target and above. So, however, there's also the possibility of a false breakout, and this is a scenario where the price of Doge momentarily breaches the resistance or support level before swiftly reversing. Since Dogecoin has tested these zones multiple times, traders are cautioned to look out for confirmation signals that could say price action is beyond its range and will get rejected. So what's next for Doge? Well, Ali's like, he had this ascending triangle we looked at the other day, and then he updated it, and Dogecoin poked down below the rising support line in his ascending triangle, which was no surprise at all as well, because we are range bound. It's going to bleed out sideways, just like his big overall channel. It's just going to bleed out sideways. So that's what's happening there. Major Dogecoin move could be incoming. And what would that be? Well, unfortunately, right now, there is not enough volume. Momentum is waning. The decreasing volume of trading is another issue that worries Doge bulls. When buying pressure is weak, it indicates that market players lack the confidence to raise the price. In the absence of a volume surge, Any attempt at a breakout is likely to fail. Because of this, the asset finds it more difficult to maintain a long-term upward trend, which raises the likelihood of, here it comes, further sideways movement, or possibly another leg down, depending, of course, on how bad news or fear could be. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, if you didn't hear, the tariffs on April 2nd, which is over a week away, that April 2nd Liberation Day, as Trump calls it, kind of looming out there, leads me to believe we're just going to bounce around in a kangaroo market for at least another week and a half. But hey, that's just me. What do I know, right? What do I know? And we've got other weird things going on, and we touched on this on Friday. Like Binance is doing this token delisting vote, which has, of course, all the Jasm holders up in arms because Jasm is on this list that's getting voted on to delist. And it's just like, what's Binance doing? Why would you have a vote to delist? And then we looked at it on Friday, and the first choice out of all of the 21 tokens they've listed is Jasm. And if people don't read the question right, that it's you're picking which ones to delist, not the ones to save, Jasm is going to get a lot of votes because it's the first one on the list. It's like Binance is not helping Jasm at all. It's like they want Jasm to fail. So Jasm is doing a big pitch on X to get listed on Robinhood. They're like pleading with Vlad and Robinhood app to like, please list Jasm. You got to save Jasm. Just let's give it to Binance by having Robinhood list Jasm, and all the Jasm holders will take all their Jasm off of Binance and move it over to Robinhood. That's what they're saying to Robinhood. It's like, we will take all of our Jasm and we'll load it onto your platform if you list us. Well, Dustin, I would say if Jasm breaks a penny, like seriously, if it breaks a penny, I might even buy some. It's like, come on. 1.1. And yes, if we look on the 4-hour chart, we can see Jasm has seriously dropped, right? And this is where I sold mine, up at 3 cents. Because I did take profits on Jasm. I sold it at 3 cents. But for it, if it drops below a penny, and I could pick up like 3 to 1 from where I sold. But the whole Binance thing is just bizarre, what they're doing. Very bizarre. So Jasm just continues to bleed down, not showing any signs of strength because of what's going on with Binance. But meanwhile, we've got Pepe, we've got Bonk, we've got Fartcoin, we've got these others that are actually going up right now. Dogecoin is trying to, but Bitcoin is kind of not leading the way strong enough yet. Even though Doge is up over 2%, Bitcoin's up 1.5%. So Dogecoin is up more than Bitcoin right now on the day. But not a lot else going on. And then I'll look one last thing, which is our crypto bubbles. And we need to go all the way back. Sorry, we were looking at this the other day and we ended up on page 8. We gotta go back to page 1. Celestia is up, DOT is up, Atom is up, HBAR is up, Algo's up, XDC down, Form down. Yeah, it's positive. There are a lot more greens than reds, but not anything huge going on in crypto bubbles. So Jay, when do I think we're going to get back to 30 to 40 cent range? Jay, I have no idea. We're struggling at 17 cents. I wouldn't think we were at 30 or 40 cents until the fall. I just don't see that big of a run coming yet in April, but we'll see what happens after April 2nd. The House of Doge probably isn't going to get into like full action until May or June, but they are going to be making a lot of announcements, including tomorrow. They're going to have an announcement. We don't know whether it's going to be like a Toronto Blue Jays thing, or is it going to be naming more people that are involved. Jasm is still on Coinbase. Yes, Linda. Still on Coinbase. Blake still thinks it's going to be a nice summer run. We've had 3 or 4, actually, if you count 2021, which had a big pullback during the summer as well. 4 summers in a row that have not been good for crypto trading. 4 in a row. So, April 20th, Doge Day. They haven't been so great for Doge in the past. People get all hyped up like Doge Day, and then Doge underperforms. The Kangaroo market does give people more time to DCA, buy on dips. Yes, but we've been doing that for so long. So long that Mowdy now hates kangaroos. You hate kangaroos now. A lot of people are scared of April 2nd. And you might be kidding, but now X payments, again, we think, or I think X payments is going to start in the fall. And I think Doge is going to get a boost, even though it's not going to be on X payments. Some people are like making these pronouncements on X like it's a new thing. Like X payments is going to start, but it's not going to have Dogecoin. And I've been saying that for a year. It's like, I know. That's not news. There's nothing new there. They're getting money transmitter licenses to deal with fiat, to deal with US dollars, not cryptocurrency. So it's not any bit of news at all that there's not going to be crypto or Dogecoin when X payment starts. But Doge will still get a boost on the hope that eventually Dogecoin will be used on X. So the heat map looks to you, Charles, like it's going to go down before it goes up. Could take out more long leverage. People are waiting. A lot of leverage traders are just waiting for the big run up, and they want to catch it with a leverage trade. And they just keep taking them out. So will we end up in the red again this month, Peter? Yes. We're still down 15% in March. 38% February, 15% in March. I don't see us recovering 15% in a week. I just don't see that happening. So March is going to be a red. So we start again anew in April. Now in 2020, we had a green January, a red February, a red March, but then a green April. So maybe we're just like 2020 and we have a green April. So I'll hope for that right now. I'll take that. If we get a 34% gain in April, that'll be great. If we can recover at least some of that 15%, let's make it only like a single digit loss. That would be good. That would be good. But we will see how that goes. Kangaroo hunting season should begin. No new news about X money, X payments, whatever it is. Again, as I said, both Elon and Linda basically said 2025. And I took that to mean fall, toward the end, immediately. And that was like a year ago. And that's still probably what it's going to be. Takes them a long time to get things going. So, yeah. Will the Doge ETF help price surge? Well, again, that's another thing that I think isn't happening till the fall. A lot of people are like, oh, next week, Doge ETF is going to be approved. And I'm like, yeah, no. Don't believe that crap. It's going to take long time. The tariff stuff could be going on for several more months. That's true. This whole thing on tariffs and taxes, once Trump gets a good enough sign on what's going on with the tariffs, then the next phase of the tax plan is going to come out. I think it's going to be more than just no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. It's going to be something big. They're talking about no tax on what people who make less than $150,000 would have no federal income tax. That would be huge. That would be huge. That gives a lot of spending money in people's pockets if they're not having to pay that federal income tax. That's what tariffs can do, though. So we'll see about that. Aussie, good day. I'll cheers you with my beer, and you're having your morning whatever. But cheers. Yeah, paranormal, but Elon can't do that. He can't have Dogecoin at launch. So now there are other things he could probably do with Dogecoin on the X platform. It just wouldn't be payments. It would have to be, he could do something else, just not the payments, because he needs to, there's some regulatory things he would need to get approved before he could do that. So how could you? RR, how could I what? Out for some portillos. All the bad things are my fault. Awesome, DB. Enjoy your portillos. No, I think the X money thing is going to be good for Dogecoin, Jay. Because it just means there's hope. And when there's hope, that's why I'm continuing to try to get the word out that when X money starts, don't expect Dogecoin on there. It's not going to be there. But I can already read like the Motley Fool headlines. X money starts, but no Dogecoin. Dogecoin crashes. It's just like, God. How about just no tax in general? There was a time before 1913 in the United States where that was indeed what it was. People earned money and they did not pay taxes. No, John. People are talking, but there's no reality in that at all. Just because it has an X in it, like XRP, XLM, it's not going to be used on X. It's just not. Tax rebates. Rumor. Yep. Big rumor. Will the Modelo taste the same after the tariff kicks in? Yeah. Well, that's why I went out and got a case. I was just like, I'll get some of this before the price goes up. John, that's just people making shit up. It really is. They're just trying to pump their bags. Elon has never even mentioned XLM, like ever. And he has no interest in XRP. He knows. It's not happening. Dogecoin tipping on X would make the situation more bullish. Fits the meme, utility narratives. Creators could make serious money. Doge is easy to use. Exactly. And I think Elon knows this, but I think it's a more difficult problem to solve than we think, to really get it integrated onto one of the largest social media platforms in the world. So, but he's got to get it just started first, just in the United States with fiat, and get it started, get it going. So it's going to take time. Christian, you're holding till fall, looking for a 5x that gets it up to like 85 cent Doge. 85 cents. If Elon said crypto acceptance coming soon, that would send Dogecoin to the roof. That would do it. I don't think he's gonna say something like that. But Tesla will be fine, Jeff. This is just a short-term thing. This Democrat revolt against Elon, they're taking out on Teslas. Actually, Tesla kind of rebounded on Friday. I think the Tesla stock will be fine. John asks, how do I feel about it as a good buy? You know, if it gets down close to 200, definitely a good buy. What is it, about 240 now? Something like that. It recovered a bit. But again, I still think there's enough uncertainty about April 2nd that the stock market isn't going to go crazy. So I don't see the Tesla stock like taking off yet. So there still may be some dips coming. But that's just me looking at the markets and looking at the uncertainty. You're buying Tesla stock, Paranormal? It is a big discount. I bought mine at like a 112 and I sold at 430. $430. Like 432, I think, is where I dumped all my Tesla stock. Which helped, pay for the house. So I don't have the funds to buy back into Tesla right now. I've been buying some Doge, of course, that I've told you guys about, and need to get all my other things paid off before I can really seriously start reinvesting. So I'm kind of in this wait and see mode, which is why I think over the summer, I'm probably going to be accumulating mid to late summer, probably. Jozo is very bullish on Doge, up over $3. Well, Jay, I mean, we did talk about it. Right, there it is. We talked about it a little earlier. Real estate sales accepting. Doge, Solana, XRP, Bitcoin, ETH. That's why. It's not just Doge. It's all these others too. You can promote it as Doge all you want, but it's like a bunch of other cryptos too. And it's in Japan with one real estate company. So it's not a huge deal. I would call that a B-list thing. It's kind of a B-list. So that's why it's not helping Dogecoin, for all those reasons. April 2nd, it's, Brian, I know you think it's already baked in. However, it's still the uncertainty. It's the U of FUD. It's the U, uncertainty. What's going to happen? Markets don't like that. So that's why I think, at least for another, 8, 9 days, we're like going to be in this kangaroo court, bouncing up and down, continue consolidation, no big breakouts. Joe, you're 85% Tesla stock now. Going all in, right? Tesla and Doge. That's your portfolio. Wow. You'll do well. In the long term, you'll do well. Short-term volatility, but long-term, that will do you very well. I think so. I had Tesla early too before I got serious about investing long-term, wanted to make money, sold everything, left the stock market for a few years. So buying back in. Game of patience. Exactly, Jay. The government, the United States government is having serious talks about crypto. I think one of the big things they're trying to get settled first is the stablecoin situation, because stablecoins are used worldwide and stablecoins are pegged to the US dollar, but they're used worldwide. So it only makes sense that the United States government is going to make sure that all of these top stablecoins continue to be backed by the US dollar. And they're trying to get the right language written in for regulation of stablecoins, at least here in the United States, to keep that being strong. Because China is trying to weasel its way in with its digital yuan, saying that's a stablecoin too, but that's to the Chinese currency, not to the US dollar. And so that's why the stablecoin thing is like number one priority right now with the US government. Then they're going to go back to all of the strategic Bitcoin reserve and then buying somehow more Bitcoin without using taxpayer dollars to do it. And what is that method going to be? There's a lot of rumors out there. They're going to sell gold, buy Bitcoin? Probably not. Are they going to just try and confiscate more Bitcoin? Probably. But there may be some other tricks they can do. And Cynthia Loomis is on top of all of that. And then there's the digital stockpile of all the other cryptos that they have, and they don't even know what they have. Christian, you're right. We need a ton of adoption. Yes, we need a ton of adoption. That's what the House of Doge is doing, as we've been covering for the past month. I think this is going to be bigger than most people think. What these guys are doing. It's going to be bigger than most people think. So, but it's going to take a while, of course, for it to roll out, and it's not going to be anything immediate soon, but slow and steady. I think it'll keep Dogecoin's price steadier, and we'll see how that adoption comes. The cyber trucks were to the Las Vegas Police Department, Sly. The 5 Cybertruck donation was for Las Vegas. And Elon said it wasn't him. Anthony, my friend, how are you? Are you stuck with your 33 Doge? Go Doge. Price rally or false breakout? Neither. One of the first meme coins, so just buy and hold. A false breakout would be, it's got to be one or the other. which is what it's going to be. We're still kangaroo market, bumping up and down sideways. All false hopes. Well, Anthony, there are ways to get ahead financially and ways not to. And in order to get ahead financially, you have to take some risks. You just have to. Otherwise, you're only going to make 5 to 10% a year. And 5 to 10% a year is not going to get you very far, right? Gives you a little extra, but doesn't get you very far. You want the 100 or 200% to make a difference or more. So mine from 2022 till January 2025 was about 450%. And a third of that was Dogecoin. Now, I was able to do that and make a difference in my life, but it took a risk. It was a big risk that I took. So why not? Isaac, hoping on that algo. And I would have thought Algorand would have had more of a pump after the CEO was there last week on the Digital Asset Summit, the slot right after Trump, and nothing. Just nothing. In fact, it actually dumped because everything was dumping after that on Thursday. So, yeah, I don't know about algo. I'm not buying back into Algorand. I booked my profit. Good. I like RR's rumors. Doge will go sideways forever. Become a new stable coin. Hey, Peak went on a little run this morning. Still has a long way to go on recovery. I know, but we'll take it. We'll take it. This is nice, right? Up 15% today. Come on, let's go. Peak is up 15% today. The Kangaroo is Aussie, so it's all your fault. Kangaroo market. All the way from the land down under. Anthony's not invited to the Doge $1 party. Yeah, he's not worthy. Anthony is not worthy. Hey, Red Ball, I saw you became a member. You are here now. Well, next Sunday, if there's nothing else going on, we are doing our members only live stream. I'll be talking about that during the week. It'll be next Sunday for the members. It'll be a members only live stream. So look for that. March 30th, members only live stream. We'll have some fun with it and do some business. And that will be next Sunday. Hooray. It'll be 4 o'clock East Coast time, more or less. Christoph. March 30th. 4 o'clock East Coast time. And we will take care of business, but we'll have some fun too. Tell some stories. Some things that are better off with just the members. Setting an alarm on your calendar, leaving work early. We are doing this next Sunday. Sunday. Anthony, yes, today Fartcoin is outperforming Dogecoin. Duh. Over the years, Dogecoin has outperformed just about everything else, though. Look at the bigger picture, guy. Look at the bigger picture, Fartcoin. God. Now you're starting to piss me off, Anthony, because you know better than to just pick one crypto that happens to be going up today. Unbelievable, man. You're better than that. I know you're better than that, Anthony. Next Sunday is members only live stream, Linda. And we're going to talk about the KrissPax portfolio. KrissPax portfolio next Sunday. He actually started off not being so bad, Paranormal, which is why I'm surprised that he is getting into this troll mode, because he is sounding more like a troll, and he's better than that. I know he is. KrissPax, yes. I purchase occasionally at PA Botanicals online. One option is crypto. Yeah, Adam, we want to get to the point, though, where the only crypto that's accepted is Dogecoin, right? Because otherwise they're using like a BitPay or something. And I would rather have real transactions on the blockchain than what BitPay does. I guess it would be, right? It would be from your wallet to BitPay's wallet. So that would be on the blockchain. But you could pay an XRP or ETH or ADA. It's like, Anthony, is 33 Dogecoin better? Yes. He's going to sit on that 33. Will PaxCat be on the members only stream? He's a member. He is a member. Yeah, Doge passed ADA again, Blake. For those that didn't see, Dogecoin is now, again, number 8. And Cardano is number 9. And it's got like an $800 million lead, so that's not bad. Well, 700. But yeah. Dogecoin 8, Cardano 9. Now, Tron has been doing well for the week at number 10 and is starting to move up higher. So that's out there. But Dogecoin, just kind of bouncing around Kangaroo market. Will Miss KrissPax make an appearance on the members only live stream? That's a good question. I don't know what she's doing next Sunday. She always knows what I'm doing. I have no idea what she's doing. Anthony secretly loves Doge, and that's why he keeps coming back. Oh. No, Miss KrissPax is not hodling Doge. She doesn't even know what she has. She's got a 401k plan, and it's got a bunch of stuff in it. And she has no idea what it is. And she hasn't offered to show it to me. So I'm like, yeah, we have this deal. She's got her money. I've got my money, and we make it work. I have no idea. I think she's holding probably some mutual funds or something, would be my guess. There's no crypto. There's no way Elon's going to use PayPal. Caffeine. No way. He knows those guys. Aave, 182. Aave's actually been doing okay here. For the past 2 weeks, Aave is actually up about 15%. That's starting to show a nice recovery. This is where I sold, back up here at over $300 is where I sold my Aave. But yeah, we're starting to see this a nice recovery here in Aave as it's swooping up from the low. So that's not bad. A lot of talk about DeFi. And Aave is in a good position. So yeah, we could see Aave going on a nice run after April 2nd. I don't think anything's happening before then. And here's Doge just flat as can be, just flat, bouncing up and down, sideways market, kangaroo market, whatever. There's the last Dogecoin I bought, was right there, 11th of March, 1570, right there. Maybe it's time to become a member, Altrix. Become a member, you get some Dogecoin. Easy as that. You won't get as much as other members. Again, it's weighted. The longer people have been a member, the more Dogecoin they get. I've set up a spreadsheet. I have a system, of course, right? I have a spreadsheet. You guys should know that about me. And it all makes sense to me. I will explain it all to you guys. All right, RR. Have a good evening. See you next week. The Josh Mandel Bitcoin prophecy. Yeah, I watched Andre Jick's video on that. And I was just like, yeah. I mean, remember the guy who like shorted the real estate market back in 2008? And he got that one right. They made a movie about it, The Big Short. Remember that? Everything else he's predicted since then has been wrong. Totally wrong. Michael Burry, exactly. Everything else that he has predicted since then is wrong. He told everybody to sell stocks like, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, and the market just kept going up. He was like, nope, sell the S&P. Nope. It went higher and higher to all-time highs. Totally wrong. So this guy somehow made this $84,000 Bitcoin prediction on whatever the date was last week in March. It was just like, okay. And his next prediction is like 400,000 something Bitcoin. And Andre's like adding up all these numbers and making up like some logic to why the numbers are where they are. And I'm just like, yeah, that's all BS. Seriously, come on. I mean, do you believe any of that? When you watch that Andre video, do you believe any of that? You're just adding numbers together. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. I mean, I predicted Dogecoin to hit certain prices like a month in advance, and it hit them. And then another month goes, and I make another prediction, and I'm way off because nobody can predict. Nobody can predict. If I had 250,000 right now, I'd split it between Doge and Bitcoin. I'm intrigued about Jasm. If Jasm continues to drop because of this fear of Binance thing, maybe would probably put a little back into Jasm. The 4-hour stock RSI is about to have a crossover. That's what we were looking at for those that wanted to swing trade. It did have the crossover. It had to cross over when Doge went up to 17.2. It crossed over. 17.2. You would have bought it down here at 16.5 on Friday, and you'd have sold it earlier today at 17.2. If you're swing trading the stochastic RSI on Doge on a 4-hour chart, you would have sold on Wednesday, and you would have sold up here at 17.8. You would have bought back in at 16.5, and then earlier today you would have sold at 17.2 on the stochastic RSI crossover. I'm just saying, if someone really wants to trade this thing, people do. There's some money to be made. Now, there's a risk, right? You don't know what's going to happen, but there's a risk. You'd be out of Dogecoin right now because you would have sold it. 17.2, you would have sold the Doge. And what if it doesn't dip? What if the stock RSI doesn't dip back below 20 here? It turns around and just goes higher. Then you're out of the trade. That's the risk. That is the risk. Charlotte, I wouldn't expect anything else on a Sunday. Glad you can make it and join in, but next week will be a special for the members. Doge, do only good every day. China stocks? Yeah, China stocks are doing some weird things. They tend to go up at times when you don't expect it. Like I'll see like NEO and XPeng going up while US stocks are going down. That happens. Ah, yes, the good old flux capacitor. The flux capacitor. Dogecoin. Hi, Adam. How are you? Welcome. You enjoying the kangaroo ride? We are riding that kangaroo. Up and down and up and down and up and down. Kangaroo market. Actually, Doge has been getting less volatile on price since like the 9th of March. I mean, look at the swings there. We can almost start to draw. Sort of these. See how less volatile it's becoming. Interesting. But it's not just Doge. I mean, Bitcoin is up a little bit higher. Again, Bitcoin dominance has gone up a little bit more. I gotta erase that thing. But even Bitcoin, like volume was down. It's like all like slowing down. Yeah, we could look at Bitcoin the same way. But Bitcoin is a little bit, yeah, probably not that one. That's an anomaly. That's what Bitcoin's doing. Not much action, though, on a Sunday, guys. But it's still in the green, up 2%. We'll take that. Up 2% for the day. Yep. Doge just following Bitcoin. But it's nice to see on the way up, right? It goes up at a higher percentage. Will, you bought Dogecoin and Chainlink. Chainlink will be good. You know, when I saw that little video of the Bitcoin white paper, I thought that was faked because I thought that's where the Declaration of Independence was hanging. So I was like, is that real or not? I don't know. You don't know what to believe anymore with AI, right? But I thought underneath that cloth was the Declaration of Independence. And then someone showed the Bitcoin white paper. And I was just like, what? So I'm not a believer. I still think that's fake. Someone has to prove that to me, that was real. I mean, why would they have like the Bitcoin white paper in the White House? I'm like, that's AI. Raul, you hold Doge and Link? Well, we'll just bought some. Looking forward to the House of Doge big news. I don't know if it's big news or not, but it's news. It's something. Keep it going. I know, Isaac. April 2nd, Liberation Day, according to Trump. Liberation Day. Tariffs. Tariffs. All very interesting. $5 of buying power. I'm keeping my buying power in Robinhood until the end of the month. And then in April, I have to start transferring it back to my bank. But I'm keeping it there so that I keep all of those entries in for that gold bar. I want to win the Robinhood gold bar. So I'll keep it all there. I will keep it all there until after April 1st. And then I'll start sending it back to my bank because April 15th, I've got to be sending a big check to the IRS and a big check to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to pay my capital gains taxes on my crypto profits from 2024. Yeah, it was fake. Rod, that's what I thought. I was just like, yeah, there's no way. That was the Declaration of Independence. Somebody did a good job, though, of making it look like the Bitcoin white paper. And I was just like, no. Such pay, Doge box, House of Doge, partnerships, gig to wallet, enhancements, X integration potential. I know, right, Matt? This fear of the economy, right? Tariffs, inflation, what's going to happen with interest rates, like all that uncertainty is just keeping people from sending these things higher. Now, why they're buying Bonk and Fartcoin, I have no idea. I have no idea where that's coming from. It's actually a golden Hershey bar. Now, Robinhood wouldn't do that. They're not going to risk their reputation. They're a huge growing company doing very well. Thank you, Art Scholar. I want that gold bar. I'll just put it right up here on on the ledge, right here where Pax Cat was on Friday, just sitting up there, a gold bar. That'd be awesome. Robert Edwards, welcome. Welcome, Doge fan. Doge to the moon. Sure. Doge's going to $1 in 2025, says the guy with the Chinese characters. I would like that too. Let's see if we can do that. Let's go, y'all. Isaac, I love how Robinhood will manage your retirement account and allow you to gamble your life savings on sports. I'm not touching that. I guess they partnered with Kalshi in order to have the betting on the Robinhood app. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not touching sports betting ever again. Just not doing it. Not doing it. You lose more than you win every time. Not touching it. Yeah, we're a very friendly neighborhood here, Robert. So welcome. Yes, thank you, Doug. Very friendly. You can always zip back to the first 10 minutes of my live streams to catch all the news, because I usually do a quick news update on what's going on, what people are saying, what people are talking about. My live streams, that's always like the first 10 to 15 minutes. And then I just hang out with the chat, interact, have some fun. But you can always go back to like the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my live streams. And then I also do videos during the week. I did one yesterday on a Saturday. So I do like 10 to 15 minute videos too. But the live streams, more long form, hanging out with you guys, having fun. You did a bracket. You've got Duke winning it all. I'm sure they're probably beating Baylor right now, right? Because Baylor just isn't in their league. But you never know, right? That's why they play the games. Yeah, they're up by 20 with 2 minutes to go, 84 to 64. No surprise there. No surprise. Yeah, Duke should do well. Could it be Duke versus Florida in the final? Are they on the same bracket or different bracket? I don't know. Florida looks good. Doge stimulus loading. I don't think there's going to be Doge stimulus, Aussie. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know who started that rumor, but it's like, no. We saw what happened with all the stimmy checks from 2020, 2021. Caused huge inflation. We don't need to go there. No, the Trump administration is going to do tax cuts. And that is how we're going to get stimulus. It's going to be through tax cuts. So people will have more money to spend. XRP, Caliente, I'm not an XRP fan. Can you make money on XRP? Sure. XRP is at like $2.40 now. Sure, it could go back to $3 this cycle. You could make money buying it here, riding it up to $3. There's a lot of other cryptos that are going to do a lot better than XRP, though. I'm not a fan of XRP because of what they do, what they stand for, all the games that they've played over the years. And their tokenomics, really. I mean, they still have like only like 60% of their tokens are actually in circulation, and they just mint them whenever they want to pay for their lawyers and pay their salaries and pay whatever else. It's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good on XRP. Now, I will admit, I do happen to still hold some, and that is in this KrissPax DCA portfolio, which is right now at $24,900. I put in $10,000 in this portfolio. It actually maxed out at about 50,000. Now it's down to like 25,000. But yeah, in December, this was $50,000. And this has 75,000 Dogecoin in it, which is about half the portfolio. And the other half is split up between Bitcoin, XRP, Jasm, Algorand, ETH, Sheeb, Litecoin, Stacks, and Sui. And the only one in the red is Stacks. And that's because we replaced Matic when Matic was going to convert to Paul, we replaced that and we decided on Stacks, and Stacks has been down since then. So that wasn't a great choice. It looks like I partially have myself to blame, but we're green on everything else. Yeah, our Bitcoin has now outperformed our Doge, but XRP is up more than Bitcoin. So I guess XRP is our biggest gainer percentage-wise in our portfolio. It's XRP. And I hate XRP. And it's the biggest gainer in my portfolio here is XRP. I didn't notice that till now. Isn't that funny? I'm just like, the biggest gainer percentage-wise in the KrissPax DCA portfolio is XRP. God. Well, there you go, right? But hey, I've got some. Average price 58 cents. Yeah, so there you go. And for those members, this is the 75,000 Dogecoin. We're going to talk about 1 week from today on Sunday, March 30th, members only live stream. Members only live stream. You're from North Carolina? Duke has always been my number one, even though I quit watching all sports. Do only good every day. Hey, Simon. You think it's going to break down back into the 15s? It could. Drink and Trade reminds everybody to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Appreciate the support. I don't like XRP either. Community is huge in crypto. Yeah, but they just tell lies the whole time, Isaac. They really do. They make crap up and they tell lies. The whole XRP army. They make crap up and they tell lies. Again and again and again. That's just what I see. The top will be in when China bans Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen this time, Aussie. I think China sees what Trump and the US is doing, and they're like, they're behind. I've heard some of the stuff posted on X about some structures, passageways underneath the pyramids in Giza. I haven't looked into it. It's like awesome, but it's not something that I'm going to like spend time researching and looking at. And if they find something, they find something awesome. That is ironic, isn't it? XRP is my number one gainer in my DCA portfolio. It's XRP. God. Yep. March 30th, members only live stream, 4:00 p.m. East Coast time will be beginning. We'll just be beginning at 4 Eastern, Milkman. We'll just be starting. You're going to pass it on, Linda, huh? Well, that's good. Teach your son about crypto. Start with a little Doge. Not bad. Not bad. Dogecoin symbols found in secret chambers of the pyramids of Giza. Dogecoin symbols, right? Rumor. Oh my God, that must be true. Dogecoin price going to go crazy because somebody on the internet said there's Dogecoin symbols. Hey, Ryan, many say Dogecoin is overvalued too. Still doesn't mean it can't go up and people can still make profits. I'm planning on holding the rest of those coins in the KrissPax DCA portfolio at least through the fall 2025. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dogecoin to the moon. Am I still giving away Doge? I'm giving away Doge to the members next Sunday on the members only giveaway. But I do not give away free Dogecoin every live stream. No, we were on a roll there for a while, but we don't give it away every live stream. I know this whole thing about the court case ending and XRP was going to rocket, right? $20. Yeah. Still $240. It's like all that stuff. You can't believe any of it. No time travel, Andy, but it does beg the question, like, what did they know back in Egyptian times that they could do stuff that we can't imagine them doing? I thought I saw the Doge dog on pyramids before. Doge will hit 18 cents in 48 hours. You could. As I am now out of my poor Jasm, I think I should try the stochastic RSI with some of my Doge. That's what I'm left with now with a little Bitcoin. Yeah, so again, it's either the daily or the 4 hour. Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, the daily you would have sold on Wednesday at about 17.7, and you would still be waiting for this to come back down. So you'd be out of Dogecoin right now. I don't know, the 4 hour chart, I mean, it's more trading, but there's risk too on the 4 hour chart. But that does seem to be, I mean, when you're in a sideways market, the swing trading works. That's when the bot traders actually make money in this kind of sideways market. The bot trading actually makes money right now because they follow strategies like this. Goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Why not make a little extra Doge off of that, right? Again, the stochastic RSI crossover does seem to be a consistent thing that happens in a sideways market. You can make Dogecoin trading this. Every once in a while, it does one of these little fake outs, like halfway down and then comes back up. But eventually, it drops back down. Kind of interesting. My favorite is when they say market cap doesn't matter, and they predict XRP is going to be $10,000, right? Dude, unbelievable. And people do that with Doge too. Yes, Matt. Overall, I think we are still in an overall 4-year cycle that is still a bull market. We looked at Trader Allen here, And this is a pullback in an overall bull market still. And I know it pulled back 60% for Doge. I get that. Bitcoin was what, 28, 30%? But we know Dogecoin falls harder than Bitcoin on a pullback. It did it in 2017. Same thing happened. If you look at 2021 and you say, well, let's say the April to early May push to 73 cents was the first leg. And then the second was back up to 35 cents from the dip to 16. So it did double back in price on the second leg. It just didn't get back up to the overhyped May high of 73 cents. And that was separated by like 4 months, 5 months, right? June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, like 5 months. So I think that's what we have right now. And Javon Marks saying the same thing. So I will continue to say we're still in an overall bull market until we're not. Is that sub 10 cent Doge? Maybe. But I did say it would be Bitcoin dropping below 69K. Its previous all-time high from the previous cycle for Bitcoin. And then I would say, okay, I give in. I'm stubborn, though. You have to bear with me. I'm stubborn. Dogecoin, my precious. Accumulating. Time is now, says gift. Still holding my XRP and Doge. Everything will blast off with fart coin to the moon. An Egyptian Sphinx. Tax cat. If there's an underground Sphinx that looks anything like my cat, I'm doomed. I know that I'm doomed then. Because then it all starts to make sense, Campo. Buying every week, recently on the dips, building your portfolio. Abe, you're a believer too. Cycle's not over. The weekly shows we are about to go up. How does the weekly show that? It's like we're sideways. Looks like we're going to end the week with another green candle, though. We were looking at this yesterday, or I mean on Friday, and it was flat, but now it's green. So that'll be 2 green weeks in a row. There you go. It's not much, but I'll take it. Pretty small green candles, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Last time we had a small candle like that, the next week we went up big. But today, as predicted, sideways. I don't think the Dogecoin price is being suppressed because of what the Democrats think of Elon Musk. I don't think so. The whole market is doing this. I mean, Dogecoin isn't dropping like Jasm is, which has some real negative things going on with it right now. Dogecoin's holding okay. Paranormal? Say Doge gets X payments, widespread retail adoption, bunch of other great things. Paranormal? Dollars? I don't know. Again, it's just, it's something that you don't you don't have anything to relate it to. Nobody's price predictions are credible, Matt. To start with that. Nobody's price predictions are credible, even mine. They're not credible. Yeah, he's timing the number of weeks between certain prices, and it just doesn't make sense to me that Dogecoin would go on a run in June. Doesn't make sense at all. So, no. Ever? Well, paranormal ever is a long time, right? Ever is a long time. Definitely by 2030, Dogecoin is not over $10. 2040, 2050, I mean, who knows? On the year on crypto bubbles, XRP is 280%. 287. The BitGet token, 445. I don't count that because that's a new one. So where they're measuring from doesn't make sense. So this isn't year to date. This is a year. So this goes back to March 23rd, 2024. And at that time, Dogecoin was mooning. It was on its way to 22 cents. So, yeah, so in a year ago, it was 16.25, but it was moving up to 22 cents by the end of March 2024. But it had already gone on a big run. So, yeah. Where XRP a year ago was doing nothing. It was just flat. Stable coin, as I said. Remember I called XRP a stable coin? Well, there it is right there. I mean, look at this. All the way from March to beginning of November, XRP was a stable coin. And this shows it perfectly. And everybody giving me crap about it. I'm just like, yes, XRP was a stable coin. Going straight sideways for months. It'd have a little blip, it'd lose it. Little blip, it'd lose it. But yeah, that's where we bought it. 58 cents. It was actually it was actually the year before in 2023. I thought that's when we bought the XRP. Totally agree, Doge bull. Yeah, Jungle Boy. And I have bought more. I can't buy as much as I had before because I put it into this house. So I won't have like 2.5 million Dogecoin again anytime soon. Yeah, I know you're curious, Paranormal, but nobody can predict that. I sometimes feel like a bot trader. Bots don't drink beers and trade at the same time. Right. Cheers to that around town. That's good. At this point, feel like that dog that waits for its owner to come back and never does. Aw. We're still in bull market. Wait, quantitative easing, the Doge ETF. What's House of Doge going to do? What's X going to do? What's Elon? I mean, all of that is still out there. Absolutely. The MACD flipped on the weekly. MACD. Thought I had a MACD favored. Here we go. On the weekly, it's changed from dark red to pink. Is that what you mean? Flipped? So it bottomed out the week before, and now it's starting to turn back ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Well, there you go. Yeah, but we've seen it do this before, right? Where it turned pink and then it went red again. So that has happened. That's what we had last summer. Not necessarily D. Look what happened last summer. It flipped and then it turned back. So that can happen. And it's done that before. Look at 2021. Did it 3 times, 4 times. Flip, turn back, flip, turn back, flip, 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 flip. That's a lot of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before it got it right. Yep. So no guarantees there. Look at that. 6 flips before it finally turned green. So yeah, there's no magic indicator as to what's going to happen in the future. There isn't. So like I say, all the technical analysis in the world isn't going to tell you what the future price is going to be. It's just not. Cheers, Israel. Cheers. Just wait, Anthony. Just wait. Just wait. What's coming for Dogecoin? You don't think it's going to happen. You don't think it's going to happen. The biggest lesson is really patience, Matt. Again, it's patience. Just letting things go. Being patient. And a lot of it is having these live streams, talking to you guys, talking things out. That's the biggest lesson. Probably also, I would say on top of that is if you expect something to happen, it most likely won't, right? I've learned that too. If you expect something to happen, it most likely won't. No guarantees, especially in crypto. Going down. The big green candle right now. Come on. What's Bitcoin doing? Holding 85,000. ETH struggling to get back to 2K. ETH has just been horrible. Solana's been doing okay, but it's falling back. It was going on a run earlier this morning. Traded it all back. Just about. Bone token has been crazy. If you guys have been watching that, just big runs up and down. I used to hold that. All right, that's about it. That's what we have on a Sunday, guys. All good, though. We're not dropping. Be nice to hold 17 cents, though. and see what we do on Monday. So I'll be live again on Monday. So make sure that you're subscribed. You got your notifications on. Always like the stream. Appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.